It's such a big commodity. He sells tickets, he puts bums on seats, people are interested. Netflix, 30 million, come on. 74,000 now at the AT&T, not quite 80,000, is it? He's not there yet. He's getting there, but he's not quite there. He doesn't do the big crowds, does he? But he pulls in the old Bunsen burner, doesn't he, Jake Paul? So I don't think he'll hang his gloves up. There'll be a plan for Jake Paul. But I tell you what, my mobile phone won't be ringing, will it? They won't be sending me an email. They won't be contacting my agent to get a fight because they know. I ain't calling him out. I'm just letting you know that he knows, that I fucking know. If I went in there with Jake Paul, it would be an absolute mismatch. One round demolition job. I'd even tie one arm behind my back. And just imagine, one arm behind my back, just lining him up with his right hand and eventually levering him with a big uppercut or a big overhand dirty stinker. Put him in the El Sparko position like he's been tasered.
There is Carl the Cobra Froch calling out Jake Paul. Not calling Jake Paul out, just ensuring Jake Paul of what he would do to him if he fought a real boxer. El Sparko with one hand tied behind me back, playing with him, catching him with a right uppercut, knocking him out like he's been tasered. And let me counterpunch. I think it's innate within any boxer, okay? They feel the same way based on the inability of Mike Tyson. He couldn't move. His leg was shot. He looked like a senior citizen. And when boxers, real boxers that know real boxing, see that, they get immediately angered. And they should. Because Jake Paul did the basest. He did the basest. The minimum. The overall less that you could possibly do to fight someone. He stayed away from Mike. He stayed away from the power. He stayed away from the danger. He came in, he moved out. He came in, he moved out. He clenched, he held. He did that pretty much all night. Mike, I think that balance was due to the leg, and he couldn't do what he normally does. The problem is, Carl was, of course, comparing his legacy to Jake Paul, which he shouldn't do, but he did. He ain't there yet. He's not where Carl Froch is, so Carl Froch is happy about that because his legacy revolves around the first person selling out Wembley Stadium in England. You know, it's been bypassed since then. That's why I think he's had problems with other people since then. Needless to say, Jake Paul is not one of those people. Okay? So, he is still happy with his legacy. However, who wouldn't want $20 million or $10 million or $15 million? You know, I had a cousin just recently ask me, would you fight Jake Paul or Mike Tyson even for $20 million? I said, dude, for $20 million, I'll fight him for 10. Hell, 5. But since we did say 20, it's 20. Yeah, but I mean, but what result? You know, if Mike couldn't fight, I don't think that would be reverence in that. You know, if he can't fight, I mean, what's the whole point? Why would people want to see someone beat up an old man? Because that's pretty much what we saw yesterday, an old man, an impaired old man. That's what we saw in Mike Tyson yesterday, last night, where Netflix crashed and crashed and crashed again because it was so many people that was in anticipation of watching him and Jake Paul get it on. Seeing him knock him spark out and he couldn't even move his arms or legs to even really get close to Jake was kind of sad. But back to Carl Froch. Carl Froch is not one of those people. Again, Carl Froch is in the same age bracket as me. See, we're not older guys. We're older men, but we're not old men. And when you're dealing with someone, turn it off. When someone gets to that point, you know, where they're still dangerous, I think Jake Paul pretty much discerns, hey, this is something that I don't want to try. And Carl Froch is someone he doesn't want to mess with. I don't know about that one hand tied behind my back shit, but I can tell you this. He will be able to put a harsh whooping on someone like Paul. But understand something. Paul is a heavy-handed dude. So before you decide to get too arrogant about your own skills, keep in mind that there is a such thing as defense. But I think Carl Froch knows that, and I still think someone like Carl Froch would love to show why boxers and YouTubers are two totally different job titles. But you guys tell me what you think of Jake Paul having a go at, or should I say Carl Froch having a go at Jake Paul. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.